You can be successful in business as a nurse coach. There is a proven process to follow. And after years and years of doing this work, Peter and I have seen countless nurse coaches reach very high levels of success. We've also seen countless nurse coaches make all kinds of mistakes along the way. And so from that, we've really been able to do some deep reflection and analysis and really hone in on the 4 things that you need in order to succeed in business as a nurse coach. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Nurses and nurse coaches, welcome back to the Nurse Coach Collective podcast. I'm Heather Lapidus, and today I'm going to share with you the 4 things you need to succeed in business as a nurse coach. Today, I have a very successful business as a nurse coach. The Nurse Coach Collective has trained over 3,500 nurse coaches to create more purpose and find more fulfillment in their work. I have found a way to earn more income than I ever believed that I would be able to make as a nurse. I love my work and I feel deeply passionate about what I get to do every single day, even on the hard days. And my entire business is built around creating a life that works for me, giving me time with my family, giving me the ability to travel and really be present for the most important moments in life. To me, that is what success means in business. But it has not always been like that. And if I rewind to 7 years ago, when things were just getting started for Peter and I at the Nurse Coach Collective, I knew absolutely nothing about business. I mean, truly, I knew absolutely nothing about business. I had no idea where to start. I was not very tech savvy. I had never run my own business before. I was just learning about nurse coaching, let alone getting a handle on the business side of things. So I represented the epitome of the nurse who came into this field riddled with questions and self-doubt and fear, thinking that I was never going to be able to be successful in creating my own practice, worrying that I was not going to be able to create clients, I was not going to be able to ask for money, and telling myself this story over and over in my mind that even if I could become an amazing nurse coach, I wasn't going to have what it takes to be successful in business. So if any of that sounds familiar to you, then what I want you to know first and foremost is that you are not alone. So many nurses, self included, have entered into this journey from that place. But now the next most important thing that I want you to know is that is all talk of your inner voice. And we've all got the inner voice, right? The imposter syndrome, and we are always our own biggest critic. So the very first thing, number 1, when it comes to what you need to succeed in business as a nurse coach is to have a life-changing service to offer. All right, now that's no small feat. But what I mean is, if you want to thrive in business, you don't just want to have something to offer. You want to have something amazing to offer. You want to be absolutely great at the service that you're providing. The most important part of any service-based business is always going to be having an incredible service to offer as a nurse coach. So if you are entering into business as a nurse coach, that means that you want to spend all of your efforts in the very beginning at honing your skill set, your mindset, your coaching techniques so that you can become the best nurse coach that you can possibly be. And when you combine your nursing knowledge and your experience with an incredible nurse coach training, like the one that we offer here at the Nurse Coach Collective, then the truth is that in just a few months, like I'm talking 5, 6, 7 months into your journey, you are already going to be one of the best health and wellness coaches on the planet, because that's the background and experience that you bring as a nurse, plus the incredible training that we provide here. Now, the better you can coach your clients to create the results that they want, the better you are successfully supporting them to improve their health, their holistic well-being, their happiness. That is how you are going to gauge your level of service. And when you have an amazing service to offer, the rest falls into place. And now here's why this is so important, because time and time again, we see nurses, nurse coaches who want to get started in their business. And then at the very beginning of their journey, they already get bogged down thinking of all the nitty gritty details and the nuts and bolts in starting their own business. And they worry about all the same things that I did, right? How am I going to get a client? What's my legal structure? What are my contracts are going to look like? How much am I going to charge? And are those questions important? Yes, but not until you are amazing at the service that you provide. The number one most important thing of any business, let me say this again, is going to be having an incredible service to offer. So you simply must start by going through a training program like the Nurse Coach Collective in order to hone, refine, and practice your skill set until you are awesome at it. Because when you're amazing at the service that you provide, then the rest will fall into place. So, number one thing that you need in order to succeed in business as a nurse coach is to be an amazing nurse coach, is to have not a good service to offer, but a life-changing service to offer where you can get out there, you can be confident, you can be effective, and help people to truly achieve results. Now, number two, for the second thing that you need to know to succeed in business as a nurse coach, is having a proven process to follow. So the reason why so many of our students have paying clients before they even graduate from the Nurse Coach Collective is because they are focusing on learning the skill sets and the techniques while also following a proven framework, step by step by step, for building their business and turning strangers, colleagues, coworkers into paying clients. I know that it can be tempting to try to get out there and figure things out all by yourself. I did it. Peter did it. We didn't have a proven process to follow. So our only hope was to get out there and put together all of the pieces for ourselves. But now what we have created and what we teach in our program is this proven process to follow so that you have your business up and running, you can bring clients in the door, and you can continue to offer that service really like clockwork. And the process is quite simple. And it goes like this: connect, invite, create, propose, and then persist. So the first step of the proven process is always going to be connect, 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 connect. This is how you create your clients in your business. The more people you share what it is that you do and the service that you provide, the better. Number one is all about human to human, genuine and authentic connection. Step two is invite. As soon as you make that connection, invite someone in to a nurse coaching conversation with you. Allow them to experience the power of the work that you do firsthand. In other words, you're showing them instead of telling them how. Third step is to create. So when you are in that coaching conversation, that's where the magic happens. Let them experience the power of the work that you do, because remember, number one is having that life-changing service. So here you are in a coaching session with them, demonstrating that life-changing service to your potential client. Step four is propose. Connect, invite, create, propose. Here is where you share with somebody that you'd like to invite them into an ongoing and paid nurse coaching relationship together. So you might make that offer and tell them, I'd love to work with you. Here's how I think I can help you. It'll be X amount of dollars to work with me for X amount of time frame, and then go from there. So you've connected, you've invited them into an initial session, you've created some magic in a powerful nurse coaching space, and then you've made that proposal to actually offer them an opportunity to work together professionally. And now we persist. And that means the follow-up. You're not going to let this person off the hook if they, maybe say yes one day and then they fall off the map the next. Instead, you persist. You persist with that individual to keep trying to serve and support them. And you also persist with the entire process with as many people as you possibly can. I know it sounds incredibly simple when I break it down like this, and it is, because when you have a proven process to follow and you know really how to excel in every single one of those areas, connect, invite, create, propose, persist, then you not only have this incredible life-changing service, but you have the process to take this service and turn it into business, which is essentially to turn it into paying clients and generating income. All right. Now, the third thing that you need in order to succeed in business as a nurse coach is action over fear. We are all human, which means fears, self-doubts, they arise in our minds. However, You need to be able to take action in spite of that fear so that you don't end up in procrastination or in paralysis or indecision. I can tell you from a decade of experience that the number one thing that's going to hold nurses back from succeeding in private practice is that paralysis of fear and self doubt to the point where we end up not taking any action at all. I have been there. I have been there curled up in a ball underneath this very desk more times than I can count. It will happen. But the way to win is to more times than not crawl out from that ball, stand up and sit back down at your desk and be willing to take action even when you're afraid. Here at the Nurse Coach Collective, we have a phrase about what it means to be fearless. And we say that fearless does not mean being without fear. It means being willing to show up and take action in spite of fear. What I can say after having read hundreds and hundreds of books on business, on coaching, on personal development, you can get all of that knowledge. You can have this amazing business plan. But if you're not willing to take action, even when it's scary, then all of the knowledge ends up being wasted. So the third most important thing in order to succeed is a willingness to take action over fear. So number one, we have got the importance of having a life-changing service to offer. Number two, having a proven process to follow. Number three, being willing to take action over fear. And finally, number four, the fourth thing that you need in order to succeed in business as a nurse coach is community and mentorship. When you are starting a business, the people that you choose to surround yourself with are everything. These are the people who are either going to lift you up and cheer you on, or they're the people who are going to question everything that you do and hold you back. There's a phrase I heard that says, your net worth is your network. And that really stuck with me because I've thought about how many times on my own journey it's really been directly correlated who I am surrounded by with, both in my inner circle and my, broader community. Not just how I'm feeling on the day to day, but the energy that I bring, the motivation that I have. The community is who you turn to on those most challenging days when you need that lift. They're also who you turn to when things are going great and you need to celebrate so you can keep that energy going. So always make sure that you have community and mentorship so that you have the support not only to get started, but also to allow you to have that momentum to keep you going. Just like nurse coaching is a way for our clients to accelerate their healing journey, you can think of a great community and a great group of mentors as a way to accelerate your journey in being successful in private practice. If it's helpful for you to think about these four things to be successful: a life-changing service, having a proven process to follow, taking action over fear, and being surrounded by community and mentorship, then you can always focus on those four things as what you need in order to guide you towards success. If it's helpful to shift that framework and focus on what not to do, then you can also think about things from the other angle and look at like the pitfalls and the biggest mistakes to avoid. Biggest mistakes to avoid, far and away, are focusing on the business side of things and getting caught up in the nitty-gritty before you have an incredible service to offer as a nurse coach. So it always comes back to focus on your service, focus on your offering first. That's why as you move through the Nurse Coach Collective training program, we're going to give you all of the learning and the didactic work, and then all of the practicum and support, and then only towards those final 10 weeks of your journey are we going to dive full into the business side of things for those of you who want to start your own business to make sure that you're doing things in the right order. The next biggest mistake to avoid is getting out there and winging it, thinking, I can figure it out. I don't need a process. I'm going to figure this out all by myself. We have watched many nurses do that. I have done that myself and fallen victim to that process. It is always better when you have that roadmap ahead and that proven process to follow, which is, of course, what we provide for you inside of our training. And what's on the opposite side of taking action over fear? Well, the opposite side of that is procrastination, ending up doing absolutely nothing. So third biggest pitfall to avoid is that procrastination where you end up in complete paralysis and you end up doing nothing, or you focus on the wrong actions. So instead, you'll follow your process, You'll put fear and self-doubt aside, and you'll keep taking action one step at a time in honor of that service that you provide. And the final biggest pitfall to avoid, you guessed it, rather than having a supportive community and mentorship, would be making the mistake of trying to figure it all out alone. I have been blessed in my life that fortunately I didn't ever have to figure things out all alone in business. Peter and I always entered into this as a partnership. But outside of our small partnership, a lot of things we had to figure out alone. So I can tell you from experience how challenging that is, how much work that is, how much of your own mental stuff you have to work through. And when you're doing that by yourself, without a community to guide you, without mentors to lead you, it is going to take it's going to take years longer than it would if you have that supportive community. So my hope is that hearing some of these items are really going to help you to reframe your mindset, to help you hone in and know exactly where to focus as you think about what you need to succeed in business as a nurse coach. There is so much noise out there, and it is so easy to get bogged down by all of the details and the fears and the worries. If you come back and you simplify, you come back to these four components. Focus on building a life-changing service. Be amazing at the nurse coaching that you're able to provide others. Follow a proven process as you create your business and learn to bring in those clients and start generating income. That process of connecting, inviting, creating, proposing, and persisting. When you continually take action over fear, and you're able to do that because you're surrounded by a community and mentorship. Well, my fellow nurses, that is how you win. This is the true, most simplified recipe for success in business as a nurse coach. I hope this has been helpful for you to think about, and I invite you to settle in, to listen to those little voices in your head that are telling you that you can't, and remind yourself that when you slow down, and when you simplify, and when you focus on these four things and these four things alone, that you will win, that you will succeed in business as a nurse coach. Of course, we would love to help you on your journey and get there. So be sure to check out the Nurse Coach Collective's program, where we include not only your complete training to become a nurse coach, but we also support you on the business side of things so that you can go from exactly where I was, knowing absolutely nothing about business, to becoming as successful as you dream of being in this field. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.